Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bros Talk MMA.
Chum.
I'm your host, Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaire.
You know what it is. It's Ray Bucks. It's Ray Mysterio. It's Mr. Give Me My Belt. Hand me my crown.
Yes, indeed. We are here to cover this weekend's pay-per-view card. It's going to be UFC 314, taking place in Miami, Florida. We got a featherweight title fight on the line. We got Alexander Volkanovski going up against Diego Lopes. We also have a co-main event with Michael Chandler going up against Paddy Pimblett. This is a 13-fight card. It started off as a 15-fight card, which I highly recommend that the UFC start trying to book going forward, because we had 2 fights drop off of this card, and we still got 13, which is great leading into fight week. So we're going to start things off in the women's bantamweight division. We have Nora Cornell going up against Haley Cowan. We got Cornell coming in 2-1 in the UFC, 8-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Cowan coming in. They are 0-1 in the UFC, 7-3 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. My pick's going to be with Cornell in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the older of the two by a couple years, slightly smaller, and a striker primarily. We got Cowan coming. You all good? We got Cowan coming in. They're going to be the younger and slightly bigger of the two, somewhat well-rounded, but once again, my pick's going to be with Cornell just based upon the striking. I believe that they'll be able to practice enough takedown defense to keep it on the feet and basically just point fight their way to victory. They almost got one with their last fight, but ended up losing by split decision. And I just think against someone like Cowan here, I just feel like she'll be able to make good on that last effort and be able to, showcase her skills. Whereas Cowan, I just believe, is still not quite developed enough to be at this level. So I'm going to be going with Cornell.
I'm going with Cornell as well. Cowan is just not a UFC caliber fighter, in my opinion. Just don't believe she belongs in the league at this point. Nora Cornell does. Nora Cornell has a better variety of wins, of ways to win, of routes to victory. That being said, I got to go with Nora Cornell. But this is probably the weakest.
Cornhole?
Cornell. This has got to be the weakest fight on the card. But this is all in all a great card. That being said, Cornell for the win.
For sure, for sure. All right, folks, moving on to the men's middleweight division. We have Trishan Gore going up against Marco Tulio. We got Gore coming in 2-2 in the UFC, 5-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Tulio coming in there 1-0 in the UFC, 13-1 overall, and are currently riding a 9-fight win streak. My pick's going to be with Gore in this one by either submission or decision. These guys, in terms of how they, literally stack up against each other stature-wise, they're pretty much the same person. They're same age, same height. I think Gore may have like a slight reach advantage, like by a half inch. But other than that, it's really that Gore, I believe, has more routes to victory. They've got a little bit of grappling and, some power in their hands. I would say that, they definitely lean more into the grappling and the hands are still evolving. Whereas Tulio definitely is going to be just primarily a striker. I don't think there's much skill there on the ground. And even if there is, I think that the wrestling of Gore will, outmatch the jiu-jitsu of Tulio if it happened to go to the ground, with Tulio like initiating it or something like that. I doubt that's going to happen. So if this goes to the ground, Gore's got it from there. So that's why I'm going with him.
I got to go with Tulio. He outclasses Gore in hand speed, in power that he has. Does Gore have a little bit more wrestling? Sure. Does it outclass Tulio's jiu-jitsu? I don't think so. I think there might be a slight edge, but not much. And Tulio just has a lot more fight EXP. So that being said, I think Tulio gets this one done against Gore. I think he gets it done on the feet. I think he keeps it standing. As long as he's able to keep himself off the ground, he should be able to beat Gore.
For sure, for sure. Moving on to a men's flyweight bout, we have Sumaderji going up against Mitch Raposo. We got Sumaderji coming in 3-4 in the UFC, 16-7 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. We got Raposo coming in. They are 0-1 in the UFC, 9-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Raposo in this one by either submission or decision. They're gonna be the younger of the two, significantly smaller, and well-rounded in their skill set. Sumaderji is going to be the older of the two by 3 years, significantly bigger in stature, and primarily a striker in their skill set. Once again, going with Raposo only because I think that they have more routes to victory. I'd say they have a evolving set of hands, but the grappling I think is what's gonna get them to where they need to go in this fight. Sumaderji, dangerous striker, but just I don't think he has much to offer, on the ground. Let alone I don't know if he's able to resist getting to the ground all that well. So I'm gonna just be going with Raposo on this one.
I agree with the Raposo pick. Sumadoji does have hands, but it's more speed than it is power, and I think Raposo has a ton more power than Sumadoji does. That being said, if it is going to be a standing exchange, I don't think that Sumadari is going to be able to knock Raposo out by any means, nor do I think he's going to duck enough of Raposo's power shots to win this fight. So I go with Mitch Raposo. Even though he is 0-1 in the UFC, I don't really like that stat. I do believe he gets this one done.
Well, I want to note
in a KO.
I want to note that I believe he was fighting Andre Lima on short notice, which is why he's 0-1. So I think he almost won that. I think it might have been a split decision to be totally honest.
It was a splitty with Andre Lima, and I think Andre Lima beats up Sumadarji. So that being said, you know what I mean? I've got to go with Raposo on this one. Normally, I wouldn't go with somebody who, like I said, hasn't won in the UFC yet.
For sure. All right, moving on to a men's middleweight bout. We got Cedricus Dumas going up against Michal Oleksiejczuk. We got Dumas coming in 3-2 in the UFC, 10-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Oleksiejczuk coming in. They're 7-7 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 19-9 with that 1 no contest overall, and 1-4 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Dumas in this one by either submission or decision. They're gonna be the slightly younger of the two, bigger in stature and well-rounded. I believe that they were a striker who really started putting in work on their grappling when, having gotten manhandled on the ground. Oleksiejczuk gonna be slightly older by a year, smaller of the two fighters and primarily a striker. And reason why I got to go with Dumas is, like I said, he's been, really working on that grappling. I almost feel like he tends to lean into that more so than the striking now entering these matches. And Oleksiejczuk has definitely proved that he has nothing to offer on the ground and is, if it goes there, it's pretty much a wrap from that point. So I'll be going with Dumas in this one.
I think Dumas is a great pick. Dumas has the better striking, I think, out of the two, being that he was kind of a street fighter, kind of a Kimbo Slice style fighter when he came into the UFC, and then has been ever evolving to, just kind of well-round himself out to become a full fighter. He isn't quite there yet, but like I said, I think he is ever evolving and becoming better. That being said, I think that he outstrikes Oleksiejczuk. And then if it does go to the ground, I think he's able to, handle himself while there. Now, do I believe he has great submissions? No, I don't think he has really any ability based on the few fights where he has got into the ground. He doesn't know how to finish on the ground. So I really hope that this fight stays standing versus gets to the ground, because even though he'll have control time, he's not going to really be looking for a finish or looking for, for the submission. So I don't like that. That makes it a boring fight. If this is just a standing exchange, it should be fun, and Dumas should get it done.
Can't agree with you there, because if it's a standing exchange, it makes Alexander very live to win, because that nigga is a knockout artist. So I would prefer this to go to the ground, just so that it's the path of least resistance, at least on the part of Dumas, where maybe it's not, the most exciting, but he will most likely be able to control Oleg Zaychuk for the majority of the fight, and possibly at least wear him out to possibly open up a submission. But if they're on the feet, literally at any moment, he could get clipped, and I just, that's too risky for me.
Pussy.
Not too risky for me, because I see that's not what's gonna happen. They're gonna stand. Dumas is gonna strike. Dumas is gonna put it on him. You know what I mean? And if he needs to go to the ground to wear him out, I guess that's not what I want to see. I want to see these two get in the phone booth and get it figured out, and Dumas to come out on top.
For sure. All right, moving on to a men's featherweight bout. We have Darren Elkins going up against Julian Erosa. We got Elkins coming in 19-10 in the UFC, 29-11 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Erosa coming in 8-7 in the UFC, 30-11 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. My pick's gonna be with Erosa in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the younger of the two, significantly bigger in stature, and a striker with some grappling capability. Elkins is going to be older by 5 years, smaller of the two fighters, well-rounded in their skill set, but definitely leans towards the grappling, likes to smother on their opponents and eventually just wear on them to the point where he can just break them down over 3 rounds, or, eventually find an opening for a finish. But in this bout in particular, I feel like it's like a dog versus dog. And I think Erosa is going to be able to outdog Elkins. I don't think that he can beat Elkins on the ground, but I do believe that he can keep himself from getting there, and then at that point just be able to point fight his way to victory, and just piece up Elkins over the course of 3 rounds. Elkins is like a zombie, so he's gonna just keep marching forward. He's never gonna quit. I don't think he's gonna get finished. So that's why I say I think he just is going to end up losing by points. Rosa, I think, is just going to be able to outlast him, keep it on the feet, and outdog him by the end when it's all said and done.
And I agree. This is going to be an absolute junkyard war between these two dogs. They're going to go for it, and it's going to be one of the better fights on this card. I just think that Erosa has a few more routes to victory, because I think he does have a little bit better striking. Their cardio is very similar. Their records are very similar. It's just going to be, I guess, if it does go to the ground, who wins there. I do think Erosa has, like I said, a little bit better striking. So obviously, I think he wins on the feet. On the ground, though, I think it is a toss-up. It's a flip of a coin. So if they keep it standing, Erosa for the win. If it gets down to the ground, we're flipping coins at that point. But Julian Erosa for the win in this particular bout.
For sure. Moving on to a lightweight bout, we have Chase Hooper going up against Jim Miller. We got Hooper coming in 7-3 in the UFC, 15-3 with 1 draw overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Miller coming in. They are 27-17 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 38-18 with 1 no contest overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Hooper in this one by either submission or decision. they're going to be the younger of the two fighters, bigger in stature, and a grappler that is evolving in the hands. Miller's going to be older by 16 years, smaller of the two, very well-rounded, but definitely is, I would say more versed in the grappling. Not to say he's going to be the better grappler in this bout, but definitely that's kind of where his skill set leans more so towards. Super dangerous though. This dude is live to beat you in any way. He could beat you on the feet or on the ground. But I mean, it is just getting to a point though where he's starting to, the magic just isn't quite there anymore. Much props to him for, lasting as long as he has. And I know he has plans to, make it to another, milestone UFC pay-per-view point. But, if he's getting placed against these killers like he is, then I just don't know how long this is going to last. Hooper's just going to be, I feel like, just a step faster, if not two. He's going to be stronger, and he's going to have that new MMA training, where that's what these guys are coming in as MMA fighters, as opposed to just like one skill set. Don't get me wrong, his grappling is elite and that's what he's known for, but he is, young enough still at this point. He came into the UFC super young that he can start shoring up other abilities as well. So really, I just feel like this is a passing of the torch moment. I've noticed this with Chase Hooper. He's kind of one of those guys who's been going against all the legends and just kind of winning to, kind of assert that passing of the torch. So I think this is going to be another one of those moments. And yeah, I'm going to go with Chase Hooper in this one.
You know what, Jim Miller? This beer is for you. Shouts out old man Jim Miller.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Salute.
That being said, Jim Miller, you have more gray hairs than Chase Hooper has pubic hairs.
Hey, yo.
You are 16 years older, his senior. You literally could have had Chase Hooper. That being said, I just don't see a way that Jim Miller beats up Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is ever evolving, always getting better, very well-rounded fighter. Jim Miller, man, you're 41, getting ready to, he's pretty close to 42, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like, I respect it, bro. To be honest with you, keep on fighting. I think one of the first fights we covered on this channel might have had you in it. And I know we've covered at least 3, if I'm correct. And they're ever exciting. You know what I mean? They're great battles. You've won a few of them. You've lost a few of them. That being said, you're not going to win this one, unfortunately. Chase Hooper is going to make it happen, whether that is on the feet or whether that is grappling. More than likely, it's going to be in the grappling exchanges. But just getting old, just getting slow. It just happens to all of us. Father Time takes no L's, has no losses.
If I take a L on this card and it's Jim Miller fucking pulling one off against
I'm
Chase
not
Hoop,
even mad at it.
fucking salute,
Salute
bruh.
to Jim Miller.
I'll gladly take that L.
Absolutely. But cheers to you, Jim Miller. Sorry, I feel that you're going to lose, but if you win, definitely not mad at it.
For sure, for sure. Moving on to the women's strawweight division, we got Verna Jandiroba going up against Yaonan Yan. What? Or Yang Xiaonang.
Bruh.
I always fuck that up. Anyway, we got Jandiroba going in 7-3 in the UFC, 21-3 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 fights. We got Yan coming in. They are 9-3 in the UFC, 19-4 with 1 no contest overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm gonna be going with Yan in this one by either KO or decision. They're gonna be the slightly younger and taller of the two fighters. Well-rounded, but definitely leans towards, their striking. We got Jandiroba coming in. They're going to be slightly older of the two, longer, and a grappler with evolving striking, but I would definitely say that you're not going to see too much of that. You're going to just see them look for openings, for takedowns, and just relentlessly look to try and take Jan down and submit them. Whereas I believe Jan has really good wrestling because, she trains out of Alpha Male, so she's definitely going to have some good wrestling, but definitely the power that she possesses in the hands is something, that has really put her on here in the recent years. And she's a dog, and she's just getting better. So, I mean, like, she just faced the champion, took him to decision, got rocked heavy and was able to fucking weather the storm and still take it to that decision, bounced back in their next fight after that against the top competitor. So, I mean, they definitely have time to grow and become a champion down the road. And I believe that they just possess more routes to victory over Jandaroba, who really, their only shot is to get Jan to the ground and control them for 3 rounds or submit him.
Yeah, Xiao Yan just went against Wei Li, and she looks like a Wei Li caliber fighter. Jandaroba, I have never seen her. She does not look like a Wei Li caliber fighter. Does she look? She doesn't look like she could beat her. Doesn't look like she should even step into the ring with her. Is she an exciting fighter to watch? Yes, she can be. Um, is she willing to get in there and, throw hands and jump into grappling exchanges? Yes. Is the skill set there? No. Zhao Yan's skill set is there. Zhao Yan is getting better. Zhao Yan will vie for a title within the future. Probably, if not this year, possibly next year. I just don't see Jandaroba being that person or that fighter. That being said, Zhao Yan wins this one, takes it down, and that's where I'm at on that particular bout.
For sure, for sure. Moving on to a men's featherweight bout, we have Dan Ige going up against Sean Woodson. We got Ige coming in 10-8 in the UFC, 18-9 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. We got Woodson coming in 7-1 with 1 draw in the UFC, 13-1 with 1 draw overall, and 4-0 with that 1 draw in their last 5 fights. My pick's going to be with Woodson in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the slightly younger and significantly taller and longer fighter in this bout, and are a striker primarily. Ige is going to be slightly older by a year, significantly smaller, and well-rounded in his skill set. I got to go with Woodson, though, like I said, because he's super fucking tall. So it's going to be really hard for Ige to get him to the ground. His striking is super crisp. He can KO you, or point fight you, however you basically want to go. It's and then like I said, he's not gonna settle for the takedown. He's super tall. I mean, literally, it's gonna be interesting the type of grappler down the road that is able to actually conquer that, because I'm sure somebody has gotten him to the ground in the past, but that was when he was way, less, developed than he is now. And I just don't see Dan Ige, who kind of is just a point fighter. He's a decision machine. Just not really somebody that I see being able to get the best of Woodson at this point in his career. I think that, Ige's playing gatekeeper in this one. And this is just Woodson's fight to win and, catapult him into the rankings and then start giving him some real interesting tests moving up to the title.
To be honest with you, Sean Woodson is the most awkward-looking fighter in all of the UFC. He's super rangy. His reach advantage over Dan Ige is something astonishing. His height advantage for a 145-pounder is crazy. Dan Ige is literally going to have to, run inside and fight him as if he's Mike Tyson. As if Dan Ige is honing Mike Tyson into his own soul to get inside on Sean Woodson. And Sean Woodson's just able to keep him at range with those long limbs.
Yeah.
And there's just, I just don't see a way of him being able to do that. There's one thing to be able to eat a shot or two, you know what I mean, to get in to get a takedown, but you're going to eat so many shots to even get close to eating more shots to getting in for a takedown that it's not going to be worth it. End of the day, Dan Ige not going to make it happen. Sean Woodson's going to make it happen. Sean Woodson's a longer, taller fighter. He has, I believe, one loss in the UFC or just one loss overall. One loss in the UFC. That being said, Sean Woodson gets this one done. Dan Ige just does not have the game plan to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, he has to literally wrestle him, and I don't think he can get him to the ground, and getting to him to even attempt to get him to the ground is going to be fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, moving on. We have a light heavyweight bout between Nikita Krylov going up against Dominic Reyes. We got Krylov coming in after a lengthy 2-year layoff. 11-7 in the UFC, 30-9 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Reyes coming in. They are 8-4 in the UFC, 14-4 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Krylov in this one by submission or KO. They're going to be the younger and shorter of the two fighters. Slightly longer, though, in reach. Definitely very well-rounded and pretty much dangerous anywhere that the fight goes. And really are just constantly hunting for the finish. They're not really about trying to go to decision with anybody. Reyes is going to be the older of the two by 3 years. Taller, but slightly less rangy, and definitely a striker primarily. I mean, he has a little bit of wrestling, but he's going to want to keep this on the feet. And the problem I see with that is I still believe that he's still pretty chinny and kind of just like can be overwhelmed and or pressured. And Krylov, like I said, he literally is he's dangerous everywhere. He can submit you, he could knock you out, and that's what he's hunting for. I think the X factor in this fight is cardio. And maybe Reyes might have the edge in that department, but I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to even showcase it. I just believe that this fight is going to come to an end for somebody. And being said that, I believe it's going to be Krylov who's the victor in this one.
I think the X factor. You have a point that there's going to be a factor of cardio in this bout, but I think it's going to be that Dominic Reyes is not going to be able to keep it up in the later rounds. Dominic Reyes, you know what I mean, he is a crazy fighter in the first 1.5 rounds. Thereafter, he starts to fade. Can he make it the rest of the fight? Absolutely, he can make it the rest of the fight. Does he have the chin to make it the rest of the fight? Yes, he does have the chin to make it the rest of the fight. But Nikita Krylov is going to put hands on him through all 3 rounds. He is going to grapple him all 3 rounds. And so it's not that Dominic Reyes fades until the 3rd round and then all of a sudden he gets submitted or he gets KO'd. He just doesn't look, he looks like dog shit. Let's just be honest with it. I mean, he's a great fighter, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a great bout, but it's going to be whether or not Nikita Krylov can weather the early storm of Dominic Reyes, because Dominic Reyes comes out very, very wild in that 1st round. And if you're able to weather that first beginning of the storm, then as Krylov, you should be able to win that 2nd and 3rd round. Again, that puts you at a disadvantage because now you're already 1 round down. But if you're able to, you know what I mean, weather that 2nd round and weather the 3rd round, you should be able to get this one done. So I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov as well. But Dominic Reyes is very live in this fight. It just depends on Krylov not giving into that 1st round and making a mistake that's going to get him clipped.
Oh no, it's just like I think the layoff definitely plays a factor, but I mean Reyes has only fought 3 months ago, so he's definitely going to be up to fight speed, which that could play a factor. Krylov could potentially be a little like a step slower, but I don't know. I think Dominic Reyes is got like not that he has it necessarily, but I think anybody looking at him winning this fight might have a false sense of confidence because of his last 2 outings and it appearing as if he's, on the comeback, when really all he did was beat Dustin Jacoby and fucking Anthony Smith. So I'm not putting too much stake into that. And I just believe Nikita Krylov has probably just gotten better and healthier over these past 2 years. So I just wanted to note that. But moving on to a featherweight bout.
You want to note that I agreed with you? Is that what you want to do?
No, just extra information.
Extra information?
Bruh, you won last card. Why are you so agitated?
I'm not agitated.
You seem
I
agitated.
fucking feel great.
Okay. And what's the issue with providing our audience with
I'm a fucking winner, you know what I mean? When you're a winner, you just feel great, bro. Sorry. I was just ready to move forward, but go ahead, you know what I mean? You want to educate your audience, I get it, that's fine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just help my audience win, that's all I do.
You sure? Mm-hmm. You sure?
Yeah, I sure do.
Oh, that's interesting, because I could have sworn you went on a fucking super slide after fucking going 7-0. But then you just fucking nosedive, and then what? Only ended up winning like 1 more fight than me?
Are you sure about that?
But did I win the card?
No, I actually won 2 more fights than me.
Bitch.
Did I win the card?
Yeah, you won the card. I didn't lose the card. I didn't win it, but I didn't lose it.
Good.
I just don't understand why now? Why you choose to act like
It just seemed a little
this
weird.
right now?
Seemed a little weird. You were just like, you know what I mean? I agree with you, and then you were like, oh, well, maybe that could happen. Like, who gives a fuck?
There was no maybe. It's just fucking additional information.
Okay, well.
You all right?
I'm fine.
All right. Drink up, bucko.
What did you say, nigga?
What was the standings in the last card? Huh?
You were 8-4, and I was 6-6.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
Just wondering. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Nice of you to win for a change. How about that? Anyway, moving on to a men's featherweight.
I won the card before that, too. Why do we keep forgetting that?
Oh, not forgetting it.
Okay. Nice. Well, nice of you to win for a change.
Sounds like
I've been
Dominic
winning.
Reyes. Oh, you had 2 good cards. Sounds good. Does that make you fucking a winner or like back? Not really. Well, it's all good.
Yeah, it makes me a continual winner. I've won 2 weeks in a row. You know what I mean?
Never, bro. Can we continue?
Go ahead if you feel like it.
Thank you. Moving on to a featherweight bout, we have Yair Rodriguez going up against Patricio Pitbull. We got Rodriguez coming in 10-4 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 19-5 with that 1 no contest overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. We got Pitbull coming in making their UFC debut, 36-7 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. I'm going to be going with Rodriguez in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the younger of the 2, significantly bigger in stature, and just
Today, Junior.
a dynamic striker with grappling capability. Pitbull is going to be coming in the older of the 2 by 5 years, smaller in stature, but very well-rounded. I would say they sort of lean towards the striking, though. Like I said, I'm going to be going with Yair in this one. I just believe that they have more routes to victory. They're going to be more versatile in the striking, present way more looks to Pitbull that they probably haven't seen. And, if things end up going to the ground, I think that they're very, sneaky with the grappling as well. So really it just comes down to, I think that Yair is just, on another level than Pitbull, especially at this stage in his career. I think there's a lot of interesting fights for Pitbull, but I just don't know if he's necessarily ready to just start facing, the top-ranked featherweights in the division. But, hey, he is a vet, and he has fought at a high level, all the way up to this point. So let's see what he got. I mean, once again, the UFC really can't lose in this position. But yeah, I'm going to be going with Rodriguez in this one.
I got to agree with the Rodriguez pick. And I understand the Pitbull placement of putting him up against a Yair Rodriguez. He's at the end of his career. Not the end of his career, but he has a title run left in him, like singular. So you can't put him at, have him work from the very bottom of the ladder. He's got 36 fights. That's more. He's got 36 wins. That's more fights than Yair has had lifetime, wins and losses. So he doesn't have time, to work his way up the ladder. He needs to start on the top, close to the top rung of the ladder. So it's going to be a show and prove kind of thing. I mean, obviously he's great. You know what I mean? He has put in his time, but he's going to need to show that he is UFC caliber. Obviously he has fought UFC competitors prior to UFC, and done very well at that. So we'll see if he's able to do that with Yair Rodriguez. I don't think so. I think Yair Rodriguez is, a little bit younger fighter than him, but able to get it done against him. He's going to be the bigger fighter. I think he's a very well-rounded fighter. Again, it's kind of one of those things. Will we see if he's more well-rounded than Pitbull? That's to be seen. I think they're very similar. I think this is a great fight on the card, one of the best fights on the card. But I'm going to go with Yair Rodriguez on this particular fight.
For sure. All right, folks, moving on to the featured bout of the main card. We got Bryce Mitchell going up against Jean Silva. We got Mitchell coming in 8-2 in the UFC, 17-2 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 fights. We got Silva coming in. They are 4-0 in the UFC, 15-2 overall, and are currently riding a 12-fight win streak. My pick's going to be with Silva in this one by either KO or decision. They're going to be the younger and shorter of the two, a dangerous striker. Mitchell's going to be the older of the two by a couple years, taller and slightly longer in stature, but mainly a grappler in their skill set. I think Silva is going to come in here and fucking kill this fool, basically. I think he's going to come in here and knock Bryce Mitchell the fuck out. Bryce Mitchell's only chance is to get a hold of Silva early in the fight when they're dry and just hunt for a submission and try and fucking choke him out or, submit him as soon as possible. If this fight goes past the first round, that's probably going to be a clear indicator to me that Silva's going to fucking take it home and end it sometime in the near, future, because it's just like, I think he is super dangerous on the feet, first and foremost. Bryce Mitchell really doesn't have much to offer with the hands. And then also, I don't think that he'll get taken down or accept being taken down. I think he fights out of a very, high-level camp with the fighting nerds, and there's plenty of grappling that goes on there to at least exercise keeping it on the feet. I'm not going to say that he's a good grappler by any means, or that if they went to the ground that Bryce Mitchell then wouldn't have the upper hand. I really think it would get dark and flip-flop in that case, where literally now he's in Bryce Mitchell's world. But I believe that he has enough skilled training partners to just drill fucking keeping this on the feet. It's going to translate in the fight. He's going to stuff takedowns and then eventually fucking knock Mitchell the fuck out. And that's how that one's going to go.
Yeah, and this should be an interesting fight because we're literally putting a power striker up against somebody that's got a head like a brick. And we're going to see who wins. The person with the head like a brick is Bryce Mitchell. The power striker is going to be John. What?
Bryce Mitchell has the head of a brick? Like, are you just talking about he has a big head, or are you talking about like he can take punches to the grill?
A punch to the grill.
That's not true, but
why is that not true? Show me why it's not true, huh?
Bruh.
How many? Show me. Please show me.
bro.
Jesus Christ.
Boom. Right there. Josh Emmett fucking sent this nigga to hell.
Sure. Okay,
in the
so
first round, bro.
How many KOs does he have? How many lost KOs? One.
Because he's taking niggas to the ground. Like,
okay,
yeah,
but he has one.
Yeah, because he has.
Because he has one.
Yeah, because he has grappling prowess. Fucking, first off, Ilia Topuria, who's known for fucking sending niggas to the shadow realm as well, outclassed the nigga in the grappling. This nigga won a decision against Dan Ige and then fucking got his fucking self killed again by Josh Emmett. And then fucking his last fight was with Kron Gracie, who is probably maybe the worst fighter of the modern age of fucking UFC. Like, this nigga literally thought he was gonna be Hoist Gracie fucking 2.0 and was just gonna fucking butt scoot his way to a fucking title. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
Can we speak about this?
Anyways, Bryce Mitchell is not a fucking. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
If he's got a pro record of 17-2 and he's only been knocked out once, that's not big enough for you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just don't think.
That's-
I don't think the motherfucker's
that's interesting.
been hit. I don't
Well,
think
that's
anyone's just been
interesting.
able to hit him.
Same thing.
Okay. Well, he's only been hit once. So, okay, then maybe he has a head like a feather in the wind, so he fucking dodges everything. I don't know how the fuck you want to put it. But you know what I mean? He's able to fucking sit there and not get fucking knocked the fuck out. How about that? Does that work for you? Does that make you happy?
Bitch.
This nigga's scared.
John Silver for the win, man.
Jeez,
tired of
Louise,
this
bro. That's
nonsense,
really all
bro.
you had to do, bro.
That's really all you
whole
had
lot
to
of-
do. Well, you didn't have to fucking interrupt me when the dude only has one knockout. You're like, oh, you just got fucking slept. Well, come on, bro. He's got slept once. Like, oof. Ooh.
All right, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. He's got a head like a brick. Bryce Mitchell's got a head like a brick, y'all.
Shut up.
Anyway, moving on to
Slept
the
fucking once. Wow.
co-main event of the evening. We have a lightweight bout between Michael Chandler going up against Paddy Pimblett. We got Chandler coming in. They're 2-4 in the UFC, 23-9 overall, and 1-4 in their last 5 fights. We got Pimblett coming in. They are 6-0 in the UFC, 22-3 overall, and are currently riding an 8-fight win streak. My pick's going to be with Chandler in this one by either KO or decision. They're going to be the older of the two fighters, smaller in stature, and a striker with wrestling. Pimblett's going to be the younger of the two, bigger in stature, and is primarily a grappler who can strike. I'm going to be going with Chandler, though, because I just believe he's just going to be stronger and just more skilled. I think he's going to be the more powerful striker, the better striker overall. And I don't think that Paddy Pimblett can punk Michael Chandler on the ground. You know, I think that some wild scrambles could possibly take place, and then Chandler just finds himself in a weird position or something like that. But then even then, I just don't know if Pimblett can even, like, I just think Chandler's going to be super strong in this fight, and I just don't see how Pimblett wins outside of submitting him. And I literally can't see him grabbing onto anything and being able to, you know, isolate it and put Chandler away. So yeah, I just think Chandler's either gonna knock this fool the fuck out or just basically just overwhelm and overpower him for 3 rounds as well. Even if he gets like taken down, I think he'll be able to reverse that takedown. And I just don't see Paddy doing anything to him on the feet. So yeah, I'm going with Chandler in this one.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to agree with your Michael Chandler pick.
Sure are.
I'm going to agree with the Michael Chandler pick because Michael Chandler has fought lots of killers, and his resume is far supersedes the resume of Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett, obviously, you know what I mean, has won a lot of fights, but he has never really gone against the caliber of fighter that Michael Chandler has gone against. Now, is Michael Chandler 1-4 in his last 5 fights? Yes, he is. But we're talking about fights against Charles Oliveira. We're talking about fights against Justin Gaethje. We're talking about fights against real killers in the 155 weight class. And I don't think that Paddy Pimblett takes down any one of those fighters. With the exception of Dustin Poirier, which is, you know what I mean, an iffy one. Not necessarily like Pimblett's a guaranteed win there, but like, we don't know. I think it's a lot more even. That being said, this is going to be a true test for Paddy Pimblett. In addition to that, Michael Chandler, obviously, this is his last little shot at the title run. So we've got to, again, I just think Chandler is such a strong, tough fighter, and Pimblett is a wily, scrappy fighter. So we're going to see which one wins out. This is going to be a great, great fight. It's going to basically, you're going to see Michael Chandler's dog mentality and his pit bull like ability to just, you know what I mean, dog it out the entire time versus Paddy Pimblett's elusive box like, you know what I mean, stick and move and just, you know what I mean, get or get takedowns from odd angles. That being said, I am going Michael Chandler. This should be an exciting fight, but Michael Chandler for the win. Not only do I hope he gets it done, but I do believe, well, not only do I believe he gets it done, I hope he gets it done because otherwise he's just going to be the guy that keeps people out of the top 15. That's pretty much where he's going to put himself at. So that being said, Michael Chandler for the win. Move on to the main event of the evening, huh?
Yeah. You're welcome, by the way.
Is this nigga serious?
Moving on to
the main event of the evening.
We have the featherweight title on the line, y'all. We got Alex Volkanovski going up against Diego Lopes. We have Volkanovski coming in. They are 13-3 in the UFC, 26-4 overall, and 2-3 in their last 5 fights. We got Lopes coming in. They are 5-1 in the UFC, 26-6 overall, and are currently on a 5-fight winning streak. My pick's going to be with Volkanovski in this one just by decision. That's just what's going to happen. If Volkanovski wins this fight, it's most likely going to happen by decision. He's the older of the two by 6 years, smaller, but very well-rounded in his skill set. We got Lopes coming in. They're going to be the younger of the two. Bigger in stature and very well-rounded in their skill set. Reason why I'm going with Volkanovski in this one, though, is just experience at the UFC level, at the championship level, and his resume. He's only faced the elites of his weight class and has even, tested his mettle a weight class up against the champion Islam Makhachev. So it's kind of a similar situation with Chandler and Pimblett, where it's just like, yeah, you look at the 2-3 record in his last 5 fights, but look at who it's against. And then you got Lopes, who, don't get me wrong, fucking super dangerous, super deserving to be in this position. And like I said, very well-rounded. He could get it done on the ground or on the feet. The only thing I think, though, is just that he goes a little too hard at the beginning. And being that this is going to be a 5-round fight, I just feel like that's where that championship experience is going to play into Volkanovski's favor. I could see Lopes, searching for that finish early on and then basically wiping his energy. And then, once it goes into like that 3rd round and then, rounds 4 and 5, I just think that the danger and his energy level are just going to start to wane. And that's when Volkanovski is going to actually start coming on. And, I just feel like Volkanovski, same kind of thing. He can get it done on the ground. Not necessarily, like submitting people, but he can definitely get it done on the ground with control, top control, ground and pound. And he's very crispy on the feet. Like this man beat fucking Max Holloway 3 times in a row. Like, I mean, I don't know what you got to say from there. So, I'm not going to let his recent shortcomings outweigh the fact that this dude has been fucking killing it at a elite level for fucking years now. And, even the fights he's lost, he's taken them on short notice or maybe a little bit too soon after taking a vicious, L. But then again, also, too, he's facing the fucking best of the best. So, I just feel like Diego Lopes still has time to develop and also, go for multiple title runs. I just don't think, I think this is more so just him being the UFC taking his star power and trying to capitalize on it while the iron's hot. So if he does win, fucking great for them. But if he doesn't, well, he's still there and he still has time to become great down the road. Whereas with Volkanovski, this is kind of like his last go before he finds himself either needing to switch divisions or, more so just like staying at the top of the division as a gatekeeper for higher rankings as opposed to just being at the front of the rankings. He'll still be at an elite level, but he'll be the guy that is helping other dudes present themselves and introduce themselves to the fan base in the higher ranks. So I don't see that happening though in this fight. I believe he still has, another title run in him, which if he wins this fight, he wins the title. And I believe that, he could still successfully defend it with who's in the weight class. I mean, Topuria gave up the title and was the one who cleared him, in his last time out. So it's like, I feel like at that point, it is just Volkanovski, So that's why I'm going with him. I still believe, in the Aussie. So my pick will be with Volkanovski.
Volkanovski hasn't fought in 1 year, 4 months. Diego Lopes has fought far more recently than that, and Diego Lopes is going to beat the hell out of Alexander Volkanovski. Diego Lopes is
Sorry, mate.
faster than Volkanovski. He has fought more recently than Volkanovski. There is no reason. He's younger than Volkanovski. Volkanovski has been knocked out, in his last couple fights. You know what I mean? It's just there's not really something that we need to compare or contrast or think about. Diego Lopes is going to win. Diego Lopes wins this one. Diego Lopes goes ahead and throws a title around his waist or over his shoulder or however he wants to do it. And that's just is what it is.
What the hell are you doing?
What you want to tell me? Because you're about to tell me something.
I'm not going to tell you nothing. I just had an argument to present. I want you to finish what you were saying.
Okay. Diego Lopes is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. I don't know. What are we talking about? What do you want to look at?
Okay, so he's 5 fights. He's won 5 fights since his UFC debut, where he lost against Movsar Evloev, a high-ranking featherweight.
Sure.
Now, that fight was on short notice, and for him to have performed as well as he did is why he, made a name for himself. Since then, in those last 5 fights, this guy has fought Gavin Tucker. In Volkanovski's last 5 fights, each one of those opponents, win or loss, fucking clears Gavin Tucker. Pat Sabatini. Yeah, he had a great outing this past fucking week against Joe Anderson Brito. Was Pat Sabatini fucking with Topuria, Makhachev on 2 separate occasions? Yair Rodriguez or Max Holloway? No. Sadiq Youssef. Is he fucking with any of these dudes? No, he's not. Dan Ige on 4 hours notice going to decision with Dan Ige, who literally got off the couch to walk to the pay-per-view and fight this man. He went to decision with him. I think Dan Ige gets cleared by all these niggas too. And then, last but not least, Brian Ortega, who obviously is having some conditioning issues and some health issues where, he pulled out of the fight. And that's the reason why Dan Ige had to fucking jump in on 4 hours notice. And then they fought later on, I guess, fucking 3 months down the line. and fucking he beat Brian Ortega by decision. Volkanovski fucking cleared Ortega. He was in trouble once with Brian Ortega in their fight. And fucking then after that momentary fucking discomfort, cleared him the rest of the fucking fight. I don't know, bro. That's just my argument, is that who is Diego Lopes really faced outside of Mobsar, who whooped him technically. You know, it was a good ass fight, but Mobsar ultimately was the victor in that bout. I just don't know how you constitute his resume going forward being, you know, somebody who's just going to clear the great Alexander Volkanovski.
Maybe because the last time that Diego Lopes fought was 6 months ago. The last time that Diego or Alexander Volkanovski fought was over a year ago.
Against the champion.
Maybe it's because he is 6 years, he's younger by 6 years. Let's see. Maybe it's because he's got an extra inch in reach on him. Maybe it's because he's got an extra 5 fucking inches in height on him. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons I can go forward. Maybe it's because it's probably easier to travel from Brazil than it is from Australia. Let's see. What the fuck else is there? What more do you want? Yes, his resume is impressive. Sure. But he has been beat the fuck up. KO.
By the current lightweight champion and the fucking former featherweight champion that vacated the title. The nigga didn't even fucking he literally beat his ass, fought Max Holloway, and then gave the title up and is now about to fight possibly Charles Oliveira in his first lightweight fight. So the nigga's literally moving from being the champion to literally straight into title contention for the weight class above. Like, that's who this nigga lost to.
Back-to-back KOs.
Yeah, to the current lightweight champion on short notice. The nigga came in on short notice to fucking face the nigga. Like,
so this is
come
your
on,
argument,
my man.
This is your argument. Is he's been knocked out by champions, which means he's been K'd by a fucking champion, which is even worse than being K'd by just a regular motherfucker. A whole ass champion K'd his ass.
Yeah.
We're like twice. We're talking back to back.
That's the caliber of person who has to be able to finish this nigga. You have to be a champion to finish this nigga. Otherwise, you ain't shit. And he's only lost to champions in these last 3 losses that he suffered. That's it, bruh. He's only lost 4 times, and 3 of those times were to champions. Champions. Like, what are we talking about here? Everybody else in the division, he is cleared, including the former champion. He maxed him 3 times. The only other fucking person that could do that was Topuria, who fucked up Max Holloway. And fucking Justin and Max Holloway fucking put away a legit fucking Justin Gaethje. Like, I'm sorry, bruh. Like, I'm not saying Diego Lopes isn't capable or like he ain't gonna win. He very well could win, but it's gonna have to be early in the fight. Like, he's literally gonna have to clip.
That's what I said.
Round 1, maybe early round 2. Once this shit hits the 2-minute mark of the second round and then goes to the third, you're gonna watch this fool slow down fucking like immensely.
I said that as well. I think that will happen. But that's the thing, is now you're down at least 2, if not 3 rounds. And you've got to come back for round 4 and round 5. Do I think Volk is going to K him or he's going to submit him? No.
Diego Lopes is not going to be able to fuck up Volk for fucking 3 rounds. He is not going to get 3 rounds over Volk.
He gets 2.
He gets 2 of them.
Guaranteed.
And then if he doesn't get it done in those 2,
he's dead in the last 3?
Yes.
Your craziness. That's craziness.
Okay.
Diego Lopes for the win. Let's go ahead and move on.
Well, I mean, that ends our predictions and picks portion of the show, folks. Do you have any parlays?
I do have parlays.
Let's hear them.
All right. This is a new parlay category.
Oh, here we go.
It's called Two Girls, One Wood.
Come on now, dog.
Okay.
We're gonna go with Cornell, Jan, and Woodson.
Okay.
3-pick parlay. That's all I got for you.
That was wild. I got Chase Hooper, Sean Woodson, and Jean Silva for a base 3. If you want to spice it up,
It's looking spicy.
you can spice things up with a spicy Nikita Krylov. If you want to get extra spicy, you can do an extra spicy Michael Chandler. And if we're trying to shit our pants on the evening,
Gotta go.
you can go ahead and add a extra 5x spicy fucking Volkanovski on top of that.
Just because you want to add that because, like, oh, I want to fucking go against this Lopez pick. That's,
Yup.
bro, that's
That's
okay.
why it's the shit your pants pick, because it's not guaranteed. But if
It's
you pull
not
that
even-
shit off,
It's just,
boom.
it's all ego. That's an ego pick. The last pick is an ego pick. That's what it is. It's all emotions, folks. Don't let this man fucking have his emotions having you pick fucking bulk.
Whatever, man. Real quick, folks, because I know that he's dying to get to this part. Last week, I broke even on the card. Bro won the card by 2 extra fights. He went 8-4. I went 6-6. I believe that tied us again for the fucking title.
I don't think so. I think it put me at 1.
Maybe we'll check the numbers. You'll see the numbers right here. The numbers letting you know what we've done on the for the last card. The numbers on the year win-loss and the all-time win-loss record between me and him.
Title holder again.
So he's holding the titles. He's doing well for himself. But yeah, we'll have to check into all that. But to be totally honest, bruh, like, whoo, I fumbled a couple of cards.
Cope.
I'm still the motherfucking future champion in this year.
You fumbled our,
And I'm gonna fucking win the all-time joint.
you're fumbling our
and you're
subscribers'
trash.
money. Like, what are you talking
You're
about?
fucking trash, bro.
Cope.
Fucking no one wants to hear your bullshit. You're over here fucking talking about, don't even know the timetable in which people have fought in. Freaking, you're taking fucking my arguments and trying to make them your own when I had to talk you out of making stupid ass picks. Like, let's just not forget, bruh, that I'm him.
No, wait. You know what? No, wait. Let's go ahead and get into that. Because he made a point on Pimblett Chandler. So I want to make sure that you guys hear this. I was thinking Pimblett, and he talked me into Chandler.
And I talked you into Krylov, ho.
That too. Fine. Right? He made good points. I'm an open-minded man. You know what I mean? I listen to good points when they come my way. But just know, if we lose on those fucking picks, those are his picks.
Whoa.
Not my picks. Okay.
So they're my picks. So then does that mean I win double if they win? So I get 2 picks on you since they're my picks?
Oh, is
since
that
I had
what
to
you
pick for you and me? Do I get your picks since they're mine ultimately?
That's not how that works.
Oh, yeah. So you want to fucking eat off of my fucking, you want to eat off my expertise, but if I fucking fumble one, then, okay, I get it. I'm Tom Brady. I get it. I'm the head coach of this fucking operation here. I'm the fucking quarterback. I'm the dude that fucking gets none of the praise when we win and gets all of the blame when we lose.
Damn,
You know what?
son.
I'll accept that because I pretty much have accepted that as my role anyways.
You know what?
because I
No.
That's pretty much who I've been since the inception of this whole fucking thing we've been doing.
Bullshit. What are you talking about?
It's all right. I'm cool with
Okay,
it.
if you're making all my, like, you make it sound like you're making all my picks. If you're making all my picks, then why the fuck are you losing?
If my picks, the ones that I lose, are just my picks solely, even when you make the same pick, hey, bruh, I'll take that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cool.
Because it's obvious that fucking you
Come
go,
on, my
you go to me
dog.
for guidance.
Oh, you know what? Fuck you for your guidance. You know what I mean? I don't ever want that shit again because, like, that's crazy. This will called out, like, we talk, like, I've even said that on other fucking videos where it's like, yeah, of course we talk about these fucking picks every now and again before fucking the card. But he gonna call me out on 2 of them. Cool. I'll take that. That's fine. You know what I mean?
Bruh, you're trying to fucking smut my fucking name, acting like fucking.
Nobody has to smut your name.
fucking-
Your name's just smut it, my dog. Like,
son.
you gotta win. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you fucking take advice
Math
from
don't
the,
lie.
from
Math
the
don't
nigga.
lie.
So you take advice from the nigga who ain't supposed to be him then.
Bro,
That's what you do? You just take advice from fucking losers then? Is
you
that what
can
you're saying?
you can get great advice from a bum. You know what I mean? You don't take all of his advice. You know what I mean? But like he might have something for you.
A bum. Okay. All right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, we'll fucking see after this card, bruh. You better hope to God, bro, that fucking you went out this one. Because if you don't, it's going to be fucking a real dark episode
Fucking
for you next
Great,
episode,
bro.
bruh.
Like
Be happy it'll be some type of, you know, fight night card fucking that you'll be able to get away with. But anyways, folks, you got anything else actually?
I'm sure you have some other shit. Go ahead.
Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Much love to all of our new viewers and subscribers. Make sure that you check out the UFC predictions tracker. See how we stack up against the rest of the field. You know, last week we were pretty much middle of the field.
No.
You know.
I mean, but like it was higher. Man.
You definitely weren't featured, neither was I. So that makes us middle of the field.
I was on the left side of the screen though.
That make you feel better?
So
Anyways, see how we match up against everybody else. Check out the UFC predictions tracker. Salute to them. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bros Talk MMA. You can follow me on both of those platforms at Utica_SME. My brother, you can follow him at R1.Mason if
you have an OnlyPans or a corn hub.
yeah, I don't think there's really much else we got going on. I suggest that y'all keep booking 15 fight cards just in the event of fallouts. I highly fucking recommend that. I want to take this time.
Also, can we just say that we said that shit literally like 2 fights beforehand? Like 2 fights ago or 2 episodes
we
ago.
were talking about this way back in like one of our
Well, yeah.
conversations that I'll link to this episode here. You
Good
can
job.
go check that out.
We talked about it like then, but then we also just talked about it recently. We were like, just book 15 fight cards. If 2 drop out, boom, you're still at 13.
Yep. No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Real
Makes
shit.
it easy.
Real shit. Real quick, folks. It's a sad day out here in Denver. We'd really appreciate it if everybody would take this moment of silence real quick for our former championship winning and the only championship we've ever gotten in the entire franchise history. We would like to take a moment of silence for former head coach Mike Malone and former GM Calvin Booth of the Nuggets.
I don't give a fuck about Calvin Booth, but like Mike Malone though.
Hey, it's a fucking cutthroat business out there, whether you're in the NBA, NFL, MLB, UFC, doesn't fucking matter.
YouTube.
Hey, oh, that's too much now. You stepped over the line now. We ain't talking that
Whoa,
kind of shit.
okay. That's wild. That's wild. You talking about me?
Betrayal.
No. I'm talking about like, you know what I mean? We're trying to like win against other creators and you know what I mean? Like pickers, not you. Like I've already beat you. I'm not worried about that. It's easy work.
Well, folks, with all that being said, we wish y'all nothing but the best. Happy betting. And until the next time, we out.